This is what I expected from France. Pure masterclass against a tough opponent. Let's go. So welcome back to the channel, guys. This is your boy Shane, and today was such a beautiful match. This is what I love. This is why I love football. It is. I was very impressed by both teams. Senegal, you played very, very well. Sadio Mane, big up yourself. Liverpool, all the way. But it was pure joy to see what happened on that field today. To see opponents trying to find creative ways to break down the other opponent. I mean, it's beautiful. Let's get into it. Let's get into the lineup. All right, so we're gonna start with France. So France is playing a 4-2-3-1. For goalkeeper, we have Mike Maignan. We have Jules Koundé on the right. We have Upamecano and Saliba in the centre back position. And we have Theo Hernandez in the left back. Midfield, we have Tchouaméni, Rabiot, Dembele, and the right wing we have Olise. Left wing we have Desiree Doué, and up front, of course, we have Kylian Mbappe. Now for Senegal side, we have the following: Ferland Mendy in goalkeeping. We have Diatta. Then we have Koulibaly, who is also the captain. In the centre back position, Niakate. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, but please don't hurt me. We have Diouf. I liked watching Diouf in the Premier League. We have Lamine Ghana and Gay in the midfield. Ismail Assar, Nicholas Jackson, and Sadio Mane. And they're playing, of course, now 4-3-3. So right away we say a 4-3-3 formation was an attacking formation, as opposed to France, which is going to a 4-2-3-1, where they have a holding midfielder and a creative player. All right, so let's get into it. Senegal did very well for me in the first half. They managed to neutralize the threat of France, and that was very, very good. Mendy was really the one who has to save them a lot, because he did his thing. He's a very good goalkeeper. I don't know why some people probably have him out, cast him out aside, but Mendy was very good. He did some pretty good saves. He rushed out, he timed most of his runs to catch the ball, and he did very well to me. Very, very good. Koulibaly also did well captaining and marshalling that backline, ensuring that Mbappe was closed down. Olise was locked up for a bit. I mean, Desiree Doué and Dembele nobody could penetrate the backline. Nobody could find a way through. They had a back five, and they did pretty well. They did pretty good for me. All right, so let's get into some stuff that I didn't like about the match, and then I'm gonna get into some stuff that I did like. All right, so the first thing I noticed was that why was it that Mane was playing like a playmaker role? He was playing almost like where Dembele was playing here, right behind the striker, as opposed to his usual position on the left. I am not sure if it's at his usual position when he plays international, when he plays for his country, but it felt pretty off, and I think that's what was lacking from the attack, because I remember seeing him play for Liverpool when he was on the left hand side. He would always cut in, similar to what Mbappe would do or Vinicius would do. That's what Mane would do. But instead, he seemed to have had a creative playmaker role, which I never fully understood why. And I think that's what kind of hampered Senegal's attack, having Mane play so deep. You could see that he even went as far back as doing a slide tackle on Mbappe. That's how far he went. That's how much he was defending. So I'm not sure why he was that far back, but yeah, that was the first thing I noticed. That no, this is going to be a problem, and it was a problem. Nicholas Jackson needs to work on his finishing. I am not sure what's happening there, but his finishing needs some polishing. As a striker, as a number 9, he got so many opportunities to score. One of the best opportunities he got was when the ball ricocheted off of Mane and almost went in. And that was the first really good attempt I saw him do. And I think he should have done a lot better throughout the match. He got so many opportunities and he didn't finish. And what I realized also is that he's not a Hurricane. He's not an Mbappe. He's not a CR7. He's not a Benzema. So I also realized that he doesn't have that vision to also know how to be smart with his plays. I'm not sure if his instructions were to just stay up front, but he needs some work, and I'm sure that if he does practice, seeing that he's at Bayern now with company, I mean really and truly, if he does do some practice, I believe he can be an exceptional forward. You just need some touching up to do, just to work on that finishing just a little bit more. Again, I'm going back into Mendy. Mendy did 5 beautiful saves. This game could have probably finished. It finished what? 3, 5, 8. France could have scored much more goals. Mbappe could have probably gotten a hat-trick, but Mendy kept them alive. Mendy tried his best to hold them out. Mendy and Koulibaly, they did pretty well to hold the line as best as they could until they couldn't. So props to Mendy for holding that line, for his timing. I mean, I was watching the match and I was like, yo, they should give this goalkeeper some more credit for what he has done. I mean, it is not easy to time Mbappe when he's running, you know. To time him and to not concede a penalty in the box. I think he did that twice. And he did it against Olise as well. So that was very good. France pressed. And they pressed. The first half was quite balanced. The first half, you could see Senegal kind of neutralized France's attack. They isolated the key players in France, and they prevented them from making a lot of runs. It was almost as if the teams were going tit for tat. That's how even it felt in the first half. France attack, Senegal attack. France came up, Senegal came back. And they were going back and forth, but nobody could finish. And, you know, throughout the entire time, I was like, you know, for somebody to score, it's going to require somebody to make a simple mistake. Like a hairline mistake. Millimeters mistake. And that's what happened. That's it. That's just what happened. A very small mistake happened. Somebody lapsed. And the goal was happened. Olise. Michael Olise. This man is a gem. This player, they call him the nonchalant. I think he's a nonchalant player. But this boy is I can't even. Plays, I remember when I was watching him at Crystal Palace. And then he went to Bayern. This boy is crazy. His hold up play. His creativity, he was very quiet, but you could see bursts of him in the first half. He came to life in the second half, and you could see that, bro, eventually, I remember watching a play where he had the ball at his foot, and he waited for the player to come back up, and I think it was Rabiot. He had the ball in the midfield, and he just hold the ball, and Rabiot just came and took the ball and just ran off with it. The passes he made, the first goal how did he find Mbappe? How did he find Mbappe? And I'm going to show the highlight of that video. The vision it took to see Mbappe running through, the chemistry to know that he's going to run. The ball passed about 4 defenders. This is why I love football now. This is why I love football. This is why I love to see when people they get creative on the field. He got very creative on the field. He found his player and they got the opening goal. You can't knock that. You cannot knock that. I swear to you. The goal by Ibrahim for Senegal was also very good. But let me backtrack a bit to the Bradley Barcola. Barcola came on in the 80th minute and he scored in the 82nd minute. I'm going to say that again. Bradley Barcola came on in the 80th minute and he scored in the 82nd minute. This man came on the field for 2 minutes and scored a goal. France has such a huge squad depth. I don't think people understand. This is why I said I see France as contenders for winning the World Cup, because they won in 2018. They were runners-up in 2022. They were runners-up in Euros. And they're here again. The depth that this squad has, the substitutions that they gave was almost like for like. And it was... You can't discount it. Barcola came on, got a goal. Ibrahim got the goal in stoppage time to kind of draw back the match together in Senegal's favor somewhat. He did. It was a very good individual goal. In just dropping deep, cutting in, and then that was a banger of a goal. But the third goal by Mbappe now, you see, in my previous videos, I have said this, I think in more than one of the videos, or at least twice in 2 videos, that one of the issues I've noticed is that a lot of players are trying to go into the box to score or to make an attempt at goal. Mbappe did what I was complaining about. I don't know if they can hear me or something across the waters, but Mbappe made an attempt from outside the box, right out by the penalty arc. And that was a banger of a goal. You can't hate on him because he's an exceptional player. But I hope he can control his ego. And with a coach like Didier Deschamps, I think he's able to control that and able to bring the best out of him. And I think that's what is lacking for him at Real Madrid. But 2 goals, and I have him down for the golden boot, I still don't do the golden boot with it, But it look like I have to go wait because Haaland scored 2, and I have Haaland on the list as well for the golden boot. But let's see what happens. All right, guys. So yeah, let's run through some stats right now to see how this match was. Let's go through the attacking stats first. So we see here that France had 49% possession while Senegal had 44 possession. So you can see here that the match was relatively close. Like I said, it's like they were neutral to an extent. They kept going back and forth. However, we see that now in the goal area where we have 3 for France and 1 for Senegal, where the disparity started. Conceded, of course, yes, 3-1. Inside the penalty area, 2 goals were made for France, so as opposed to 1 for Senegal. 1 outside the penalty area, which is a banger. It is indeed a banger. As well as we have the 2 assists for France and the 1 for Senegal. Now, the attempts on goal. France had 11 attempts in total, while Senegal had 6. 8 of those 11 attempts were on target, while 2 out of the 6 attempts were on target for Senegal. Off target for France is 1, 3. So you could see that Senegal did not miss more. Senegal was missing a lot more of their attempts, and it cost them. Like I said, Nicolas Jackson needs to polish. I think all of the frontline players need to polish some more for Senegal. That if they do that, trust and believe me, they'll be a threat. Attempts on goal inside the penalty for France, we have 7. For Senegal, we have 4. For France, outside the penalty, we have 4. And for Senegal, we have 2. Now, in terms of the distribution, we see that France did 584 passes, while Senegal did 521. So again, you can see that the passing was almost even with them. The passes completed for France were 516, while that for Senegal was 453. Crosses attempted by France were 9, while Senegal had more with 11. And the crosses completed for Senegal were 2. And the completed switch of play from one flank to the next, so the switch from the left side to the right side and vice versa, 4 for France and 8 for Senegal. So you could see that Senegal could have won. Senegal probably could have won. They probably could have drawn the match. But if they don't, they need to refine the attacking lineup just a little bit more. The key difference with them and France for me in terms of the attacking lineup is that everybody in the attacking line for France can score. You can't isolate one player because you have an attacking lineup of 3-4 players. Midfield, you have Rabiot who can kick from distance. You have Chouameni who can kick from distance as well. Not to mention the fullback in Theo Hernandez who made a run all the way up on the left flank. And you have the guy in the right back. So the key difference with the difference is now is the quality of players that France has as opposed to Senegal. Relatively even a match, but small differences make a huge difference at the end of the game. And you can't discount that. So, with that said, for me, the man of the match is of course Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe stepped up as a captain. He led his country. He stepped up when he was needed and he provided. He kept pressing, he kept running no matter what happened. Yes, the first half you could see that there was a little sloppiness between him, Olise and the forward line, Dembele. They kept losing the ball because I think they weren't settled enough as yet. But you could see that in the second half when they came out. Once it started clicking, once you see Olise start having some flares on the ball and keep running and doing these little tricks, you can't knock that. So Mbappe had four attempts on the goal and he scored 2. So again, him already in the runnings for the golden boot. So now this begs the question to you. Out of Group I, which do you think are going to come out of the group? Because at the time of recording now, Norway finished their match, I think it was 4-1 with Haaland scoring 2 goals. And have Haaland down for golden boot as well. So now Norway is at the top and France is in second. Iraq is third, I believe, and Senegal is last. So who do you think will come out of this? Which two? I had France and Senegal coming out of this group. Honestly, I said before, you can see it's in another video. But like I always say, the ball is round, and in this tournament you can't underestimate any opponent. We have to go with our A game and just press and just play to win. Every match is a final, as we know, because this is the World Cup finals, where every team strove, they did their best to reach this tournament. So let's see how Group I finishes. Let's see which 2 teams come out. Let's see who goes home. And yeah, that brings us to the end of the video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, consider subscribing, leave your comment down below. I want to know who you think when come out of Group I, guys, because the tournament is getting very saucy, very, very saucy. Argentina is playing Algeria right now. Last time I checked, they're leading by 1 goal. So let's see what happens. Let's see how this goes. So yeah, until next time, guys, take care.